Welcome to Data Demystified. I'm Jeff Gallick, and this is my series of tutorial videos on how to use SPSS to work with data. In this video, I'm going to show you how to compute a critical reliability measure for multi-item scales, Cronbach Alpha. As always, we'll be using the YouTube viewing habit survey that I created, and you can find both a link to the data file and a video tutorial of the data below.
It's often the case that we have scales with multiple items on them that all try to reflect the same basic underlying idea. What we want to know is if we can average those values to create a single index that spans all of those items. So for example, I have 5 items right here in my survey, which ask about the general opinion people have towards YouTube on these bipolar scales. So terrible, amazing, poor, good, boring, fun, low quality, high quality, and useless, useful. I intentionally created this to think about a way to actually aggregate those as a single measure. But before we do that, we need to confirm that those 5 items are actually interrelated with one another. And to do that, we can conduct what's called a reliability analysis using a Cronbach Alpha. Cronbach Alpha is a measure of the average intercorrelation among the items that are inputted into this analysis. So the higher that value is, the closer it is to 1, the greater is that average intercorrelation. The closer it is to 0, the less that's the case. And we say that when a Cronbach Alpha is sufficiently high enough, we can collapse a multi-item scale into a single item. So to conduct this analysis, we go up to Analyze, Scale, Reliability Analysis. And what we have to do is take our 5 items, opinion, terrible, amazing, all the way through opinion, useless, useful, and move them into the items category. And we'll see that there's a bunch of different measures of reliability analysis we can use if we select this drop down right here. But the most common one, and the one that I suggest, is Alpha, which is Cronbach Alpha. And so then if we do that and we hit OK, we get our output right here. It tells us that we have 985 cases out of our 1,000 that have enough data, meaning fully populated data, to actually conduct that analysis, and then Cronbach Alpha is 0.896, which is quite high. A convention I've seen used quite a bit is if the value is greater than 0.7, we can consider it to have high inter-item reliability. And so what we can do then next is actually compute an average of these items, and I've done that in a previous video, so you can see that down here. That's average opinion right there. That is in fact the average of those 5 items. This is the point in the video where I ask you to pause and try this for yourself. And in fact, I'd like you to try it on these items right here. These are the items of importance. So I've asked people to indicate how important each of these dimensions are in determining whether they'll watch a video or not. See if the Cronbach Alpha is high enough to justify collapsing across those items, though it's worth pointing out, just because a Cronbach Alpha is particularly high doesn't mean that it's a unidimensional scale. There could still be underlying factors, and I'll talk about factor analysis in a different video. So go ahead, pause the video and give us a try, and I'll show you how I do it when you return. Hopefully you've had a chance to do that, and now I'll do it as well. So if we go up to Analyze, Scale, Reliability Analysis, I'll hit Reset just to get rid of those previous selections. I'll scroll down to my importance questions, and I'll put all of them into the Items section, and click OK. And what we see down here is, in this case, we have all 1,000 of our data points fully complete, and our Cronbach Alpha, again, is quite high at 0.825. So if I were to go ahead and collapse this into a single item, I would have the justification to do that using this Cronbach Alpha measure. Again, Cronbach Alpha, very useful for understanding whether a series of items in a multi-item scale have a high average intercorrelation among them.
That's it for this video. I hope you found this useful, and if you have any questions, please comment below, and I'll be sure to reply as quickly as I can. Aside from these tutorials, I'm on a mission to equip everyone with the information they need to thrive in our data-rich world. If you'd like to learn not just the mechanics of analysis, which these video tutorials focus on, but also learn the intuition behind the analysis you're performing, I strongly suggest you check out the other intuition-focused videos on this channel where I take the jargon out of statistics and data science and help you build a deep, intuitive understanding behind all the analysis that you're performing. I'll put a link below to a playlist of the videos that focus on just this. Finally, please take a moment to like the video, subscribe to this channel, and click that little bell icon so that you don't miss out on any new content that I put out. Thanks for watching.